So, welcome, everybody. It's been a while since we've done one of these, especially on this channel. We've done some watch-alongs previously on the football channel, but you know what? I thought today, why not? Let's just do it on the main so we can also be live on Twitch, because that's one downside to streaming on the football channel. I can't also multi-stream to Twitch. It doesn't let me. I don't really know if it's fixable at any point in the future, but hey ho. So we're doing this today. Let me please say that this is updated. It has. Okay, as we get into it, we'll have to see whether this lines up properly. I'm not 100% sure if it will, and so because they've changed how the in-play thing looks. So if you are new to my watch-alongs, then this is how it works, right? We're obviously going to be watching the game together, and we also have this above. So if you are not able to actually watch the game right now, then you can at least see what's going on. Because the way that this works, let me quickly see if there's an actual in-play game that I can show you. Here you go. So Birmingham, Peterborough, you can see what's going on, right? So, like, actually, underneath me, it does say, like, Peterborough throw in, but then you'll see who's got the ball and where and what's going on, etc., right? So, this is the layout that we try and have. I did at one point have, like, stats underneath me as well, but I don't really understand why all of this has disappeared from my streaming software. So, I'll have to try and add it in at some point when I can. But today, we just wanted to get back to doing this and see how it goes. Predictions today, I'm going to go 3-1 Newcastle. What does everybody else think? Hello Callum, hello David, everybody. Golf watch-along would be more exciting. Maybe, but Rory might just run away with it. As soon as this finishes, I will be getting the golf on. We've also got the F1 on right now. There's a clash between three things that I want to watch all at the same time, which is a pain. I also need to score 5 goals with an Italian player in the Foot Immortals Cup in order to get a lone Ginola before that runs out. I've not done any. Got an hour and a half. Maybe we could try and get like one done immediately, and then the rest during half-time or something? I don't know. Finally completed Slam. Such a shame if he doesn't Arsenal. I mean, Bryson was really good yesterday. So, open the 90 times 5. Got Jude. Also got a Duke Van Dijk. Wow. That's mad. But yeah. Fair play. Beza, hello. Callum, of course. Matador, hello. Man United to win 3-2. Wow. That is bold. That is bold. Newcastle win 3-0. I mean, I would be surprised if... oh, you need to make a specific cup team. That's long, isn't it? Know nothing about golf. Got a free bet for Sheffield to finish top 8. How's that looking? You got a good chance. He didn't have as good of a day yesterday. He had some dodgy holes, but you do have a chance. Very much so. Because, I mean, right now, you've got, like... I think you've got, like, 4 people tied for 6th place. So, you will get any ties as well, so... You'll have to see. Let me see, does my Leicester team fit this? No. No. Top 6 when you looked earlier, yeah. Alexander Isak, who was really poor against us the other day. He looked injured. So maybe after a few more days of training, he's going to be looking a bit better today. West Ham at Anfield lose, concede 5 or lose by 1 and unfortunate not to come away with a point. Yep. Did get unlucky. Whoa. Excuse-moi. Oh, I need to score with an Italian for this thing. Up the Newcastle. I do... Oh, you can only have 190 or higher rated player. Oh. And you... Oh, you need a minimum of one icon or hero. Okay, sure. Well, let's use Zaniolo and see if we can get some goals with him. What is this music? But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Should be good. I imagine Newcastle are going to decimate. But we are about to get underway. Here we go. So we're going to see what this looks like. It should be fine once it kicks in. Kick off. Lovely. And immediately Jacob Murphy getting down the right-hand side, getting a cross in. And Lindelof takes it away from Bayinda. Incredible. What is this stream? Exactly what it says on the tin. A watch-along for Newcastle versus Man United. Hence the setup, hence the title, the thumbnail. Joelinton, oh, you should have banged it. Murphy to cut in. Oh, he's surely offside. And, I mean, Joelinton finishes it off, but Trippier looked like he was miles offside and everyone stopped playing. Hold on. Just hold on. Imagine he's on. No. He's like 3 yards offside. Why isn't the match like real? Because I'm not Sky Sports. I can't believe people still don't know that you're not allowed to just stream things. See how many people say show the match. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the time, you don't get that many people doing the watch-alongs, so it's not that bad. I need to put this team together, though, for my... There is one. I don't know what that means. Madders can go in there. And then JJ, and we'll put in the rest. Desai. Big tackle. Oh, Garnucci's holding his wrist. He's injured. One person that says show the match. Well, yeah. Joelinton on for a shot on target would have been a nice start. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't know. What did I put on my rollover thing today? I think Garnacho to have 2 shots. So that's what I'm looking out for here. Smashing a step stay at the minute on 35k. Nice. I went for a run earlier. That was actually really good. I enjoyed it. I'm sort of getting back into running at the pace that I used to. So I did 2.5k at the pace of a half-hour 5k. And I felt fine. I feel like I maybe could have done a little bit more, but I don't want to push it too far. And I'm slowly building up the time at that pace until I get back to being able to do the 5k at 30. And then maybe I try and push it down to 25. We'll see. We'll see. Let me actually turn this up a little bit for you. So you can hear all of the commentary. I need to make sure that you cannot hear anything I may do on the game. Game is muted. Perfect. But yeah, Onana dropped from the squad completely. Premier League debut for Bayinda, who... Crazy that that is happening for a goalie with number 1 on their shirt. Harry Amas as well. He was really highly rated coming into this season. Jacob Murphy driving it. Yoro has a shot. What a strike that was. Whew. Just wide of the post. Very nearly 1-0 though to the Newcastle. Maybe the keeper would have had it covered. It's a very, very good strike. Low and powerful from Murphy, who I think I've got captained in one of my FPL teams. I think in my main team, Isak is the man. I'm just hoping that he plays better than he did against us, because that was a terrible captaincy. He, again, he looked injured, and he played like he was recovering from his injury. But he's already had some decent movement today. He was offside there, though. That was poor. Ericsson still starting for Man United in 2025 is ridiculous. That looks like a handball by Harry Amas. Apparently not, though. Not entirely sure how. Lovely. But yeah, I thought, you know what? Why not get the watch-alongs back? And I should do it on the football channel, but there is a world where we get one person there with me. At least on this channel we'll have a few more, even if it's not many. So we can chill, we can watch this, and then it's time for the golf. Hell yeah. And I also said I would stream this weekend. So we wanted to stick to that. Amorim has won 6 out of his 20 games in the Prem. That is abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. Right, let's do that. Livramento to Javi Barnes. Who I think they showed earlier, Gordon. Gordon is in the squad. I assume, from what they showed. Otherwise, that would have been a very weird thing for them to have put on the screen. But Barnes starting. He's been decent recently. Lenny Yoro getting away with another slight mistake. It's not a fantastic start for him, it has to be said. And I thought I'd just see what the gameplay is like during a match. And even in friendlies, it's massively delayed. I hate this game and I wish I could uninstall it. Not going to lie. Bayinda with a nice pass out to Dallo, though. I think that's one thing that's being underutilized with Onana, is his passing ability. A lot of you may have seen on Twitter over the last few days the compilation of Onana during the Champions League final and his ridiculous passes out that were really causing Man City trouble. It just isn't utilized for United at all. How am I? I'm doing very well, thank you. I hope you're having a lovely day. I hope you enjoy the stream. I've still got all of my champs to play, but again, I'm literally trying one game of friendlies here because I need to get some goals in the cup to get a Ginola loan, which will help with videos. And my god, the delay. So, I don't really want to play champs. I know I basically have to for the account in order to keep it topped up, but it's just depressing. Big Ange must go if Spurs don't win Europa. Imagine, they could genuinely finish 17th but be in the Champions League next season. Like, it's not even an exaggeration to say that that might happen. It's crazy. They're just awful. And the thing is, earlier in the season... Here we go. Dallo with the woeful cross to Xerxes. This delay is actually... It's genuinely uninstall worthy. It's just such a crap game. Earlier in the season, they had a load of injuries, and so they had an excuse. They don't have that now. How's the collection book going? I hate the game, so I don't do it. I hate the game. So I refuse to do any series that require me to play the game a lot. Simple as that. Unfortunately. Start of the year felt great, and then as soon as Champs got introduced, all the delay kicked in, and now the delay seems to be in every single mode. It's utterly shambolic. Who do I support? Leicester City. Sadly. Who do I think's better, Alisson or Courtois? Alisson. But I think they are the two best keepers in the world. So yeah, you are getting a Rooney video tomorrow, and then I'll do another video coming up for this week as well. And then we'll get something going up on the football channel as well. Lots of stuff on the way. I've been uploading a good amount on like TikTok on the football side of things, and that's been nice and positive. We've been gaining some followers, which is of course always good. Even gaining some followers on Instagram on that account for the first time, basically ever. So mainly because of that Amazon Prime video that blew up on every platform, it's actually then got me more views on some of the other stuff, which is great. So yeah, Insta, we've gone from like 15 people to nearly 50, which is fantastic. And TikTok, just, it's getting there. We've gained like 100, if not 200 people in the last week. Keep it going. Keep it going. We're about to hit 4.5k, which is lovely. Saw the goal. Scored against James with the bronze keeper. That is... It's up there with the most ridiculous goals I have scored in... Like, I've been playing FIFA for like 25 years. That is up there with the most ridiculous goals ever. Outrageous. But I should be recording again with James on Wednesday. He had a problem with his Discord, like quite a big one, recently, and so we didn't record this week. Like, we normally record on Wednesdays, but we didn't end up doing that this week. So hopefully Wednesday we'll record another episode for you. And oh, look at this play! Oh my God! Man United! Man United have just turned up. It's not resulted in a goal, but my God. 4 one-touch passes between Bruno and Xerxes. And then a huge save from Nick Pope. That would have been one of United's best goals this season. Eriksen to Bruno. Little roulette pass by Xerxes to Bruno. Back to him. Bang! Wow. That was sick. Yeah, I was supposed to record with Tom as well, but then timings didn't line up, so hopefully we'll record with him this week. Corner for United then. 1-2 between Bruno and Eriksen. Straight through to Nick Pope. In the future, if EA improves gameplay, would you do RTGs similar to what NEP does, or do like a pack-only Road to Glory? I don't think so. I would love, if I could snap my fingers and tomorrow my football channel overtook my... this channel, like gaming channel, FIFA really channel, I would love that to happen in a heartbeat. My dream scenario in the future is that football content would be my main thing, and then FIFA, COD, whatever I want to do on the gaming side of things could come secondary. Oh, lovely ball in behind by Livramento to Harvey Barnes. Tries to cut it across. No one there, though. Missing their striker. But yeah, I doubt it. The gameplay just... It's so rare to actually be really, really good throughout a whole year. Trippier to Jacob Murphy. Cuts past one, whips it in. It's a shocking cross. You'll see it on here. Straight to the keeper. There it is. So yeah, I don't really see myself doing that. But never say never, right? I think the biggest thing with Road to Glories is the whole point of Road to Glories was that you built up to this crazy team, but now anyone can get a crazy team within a couple of days. Like, if I stopped playing the game for 3 months in October, came back in January, I'd probably be caught up with everybody in the space of a week in terms of, like, the rough team that I have. So the point of a Road to Glory has sort of been lost, where it was, you are constantly working on your squad. You're improving it. You're grinding. You're earning coins. You're earning new cards and players and stuff for your club. You don't need it anymore. So, I don't know, man. Have you ever had like a 500 plus K discard on Market Mayhem? Specifically on Market Mayhem? I don't believe so, but in the past on other series, I've had massive discards over the years. Like 7-minute squads, team takedown, etc. Oh, which has just reminded me. Oh, the stream may end up getting very... The worst part is, I forgot to upload something earlier that I need to do imminently. It feels like I'm playing in like genuinely a full second of button delay. When there's no reason for that to be the case. Whereas, like, if I was uploading something, you could understand it. But who knows? Maybe the answer to your question would change in a couple of days. Next time I record with James. Let's get the laptop out. Ruben Amorim. What a tackle that is. No, apparently it's a foul by Dallo. And a booking. Did he not get the ball? Oh, it was Agate. Oh, and my opponent left it 0-0. I need to score 4 goals with an Italian in the next hour and 15 minutes. Maybe he didn't. Livramento may have just got the touch ahead of him. I'm not sure. He might have got the ball. But he's been booked for it either way, Agate. A drive down the left by Livramento. And it's going to be, obviously, a Newcastle free kick as well, as a result of this. Why am I not signed in here? What's going on? Why have I been signed out of this, even though I'm logged in on here? Get off. You're signed in. Yes. Can I just get onto YouTube, please? Why is this so difficult? Why have I been signed out of everything on YouTube? What's going on? But it feels like someone like Nep is always frustrated with the game and the content and everything like that. Even when he's running Road to Glories. It's not what it was in the past. You cannot run a Road to Glory in the way that you used to be able to. I need to quickly check if I uploaded this file. I don't know if I did. I really, really am not sure if I did. I guess we'll see, because I would have downloaded the thumbnail. Leicester? Oh, we got battered when we went Newcastle away. That was not a fun away day. Has to be said. I didn't really have a fantastic time with that one. Wait, did I upload this? God, I don't know. I'm going to upload it again. Gonna upload it again. But, oh my God, no one's even mentioned. We didn't lose yesterday. We played a game of football and we didn't lose. It's mental. Absolutely mental. We scored 2 goals. First goal we've scored in months, and we get 2 of them. It's crazy. And in the second half, we were actually good. Not that it matters at this stage of the season at all, because as I said, I think on Twitter and TikTok and everything, that would have been a great result a few months ago, because you could have potentially built on that. And like that would have been your positive. You went away to Brighton, you went behind twice, and you came back to get a point and you scored a couple of goals, that would have been a confidence builder, especially for some of the players as well. 2 players that haven't been starting. Both did, both scored. So, would have been great, but you've done it way too late in the season. And now with Wolves winning today, we need Wolves to lose every single game. We both have 6 games left this season. Wolves need to lose all 6, and we need to win all of them, and we will finish above them by 1 point. I don't think it's going to happen. I might be wrong. There is a world where next weekend we play Liverpool at home. We play on the Sunday. If Wolves win against whoever they're against on the Saturday, I assume, and Arsenal lose, if Liverpool beat us, we go down, they win the league. It would make for an interesting vlog. I guess it is the one positive I can try and take from it. Because, of course, we will be vlogging it, as we always do. Even if it's not not entertaining, not good for me, like, at the ground or whatever. We try and make a better video out of it. But it's hard, man. It's hard when you can't really focus on basically any positives. Right, let me just quickly get this file properly uploading. And then we can get full attention back. Apologies. I had a complete mind blank earlier. I forgot to press the upload button. Oh, that would have been interesting. Trippier's angry. He's kicking the advertising hoardings. He's going to lose his head and get sent off. Right, let's leave that here. Plus side with getting relegated, you got a great chance for a trophy again next season when you bounce back up. Hell yeah, maybe. The thing is that we are like 99% likely to get a point deduction because we would have got one had we stayed down. And so it's going to be the same as like Sheffield United. So Sheffield United last season knew that when they next got relegated, they were going to be serving a points deduction. Isaac with a header. Disappointing, though. Disappointing. And genuinely, that 2-point deduction might be the difference between them getting automatic promotion and then, like, failing in the playoffs, which is crazy. Oh, Bruno. The composure. Absolute ping. Oh, tried it. Out to Garnucci. Dan Burns there, though. So, we're most likely getting that. There is a chance that we also get a transfer ban. Because we got a... What's the word? We got like a transfer ban in advance by the EFL. Oh, Trippier, what a ball to Isaac. Lobs it over the top. And that is 1-0 Newcastle. Tonali with the goal. That was really, really nice. Trippier fizzes it into Isaac. His first touch sort of brings it into the air, so he does a lobbed little pass over the top, and Tonali on the volley puts Newcastle in the position that we all thought that they would be today. And that is beating Man United. Sandro Tonali, who's under investigation again for betting. So how did it come about? Ugarte with a poor pass out. Murphy plays it to Trippier. He's not getting pressed, so he has space to drill it into Isak, who, yeah, his first touch pings it up into the air and sort of on the fly decides what to do with a lovely, deft, like lobbed through ball over the top of Lenny Yoro. Tonali watches it all the way, slightly scuffs his volley, bit off the toe, but goes bottom corner. Can't be upset. So, yeah, we got a transfer ban in advance by the EFL, but then we got promoted, so they couldn't enforce that in the Premier League. So can they now enforce it when we go back down? Maybe. If so, I wouldn't feel confident, because we are most likely going to sell like El Canouse. You could maybe get like 40 mil for him. Hermansen will go, and probably a couple of others. But if we can't spend that money, then do we just try and hold on to them and sort of like try and guarantee that we go back up? I don't know. The question with Van Nistelrooy, in terms of like, do I think he is the guy to bring us back up? Honestly, I'm not sure. And oh my god, beautiful play. Murphy into the box, tries to drill it across. Harry Amas with the block though. I mean, United had that one move earlier that was beautiful that ended up in a save by Pope. Outside of that, Newcastle have looked comfortably the better team. Bruno with a nice pass out to Xerxes, to Dallo. But now he's got no help in front of him. There's no winger there, because he's the winger at times. And then Bruno boots it out of play. And cries about it, of course. It's Bruno Fernandes. So, the Rude hasn't been good. However, some of it isn't his fault. Cooper's signings, for the most part, have been poor. Oliver Skip for 20 mil, potentially rising to 25, but I imagine that clause was that we had to stay up, so maybe it'll only be 20 mil. Is one of the worst signings in our club's history. You then also brought in Edouard on loan, who doesn't get a kick of the ball. And also, not only that, he blocks you from being able to bring in another Premier League loan player that could have really helped us in January. So that's awful. Bobby D. Cordova-Reid, are you... just no, right? Just no. And so Rude didn't really have any backing in January because we didn't have the money for it, because we couldn't offload people. So there's a world where if he could rebuild the squad in his image, that it would be significantly better. That is a massive piece of optimism, though, because there's no reason to believe that it would be that great. In some games, we've been unfortunate that, for example, like Vardy has not put the chance in the back of the net. We could have gone 1-0 up in multiple games, but he blew a really good shooting opportunity. Tonali on the edge of the box. Let's just pause. He nearly pinged it in from 30 yards, just wide of the right post. Excuse me. So, some of the stuff just simply cannot be put on Rude. However, he has not shown really anything overwhelmingly positive. The players are saying that like they're still behind the manager and stuff, so maybe he's not lost the dressing room, which is a positive. But oh, Ericsson, it's poor. But the way that he wants to play is closer to like the Maresca way and what the club is doing. Like if you look at our club, from the under-21s, under-19s, under-15s or whatever, they all try and play this style of football that Rude is closer to than someone like a Cooper. So, it's It's a really hard question. Will he get the backing of the players? Will he get the backing of the board financially to be able to rebuild and reshape this squad? If not, get someone else in. Because he cannot do that well with this bunch of players. This Trippier overlap with Murphy is causing United all kinds of trouble. Getting in behind Harry Amas really, really easily. Zeus, hello. Bottled yesterday to Plymouth. Sheffield United, yeah, I know. Awful. It'll be Southampton or Leicester to win the championship. I mean, maybe. Well, no, Ipswich. Ipswich will... I would be amazed if Ipswich don't win the league. They basically built a championship super team in the summer. Ready that maybe they'll stay up. But if not, they've got a great team to bounce back straight away. David, it is ridiculous. Spurs are going to finish 17th, but they might actually be in the Champions League because they could win Europa. What world are we living in? It's mental, I tell you. Got money on himself. Yeah, I mean, maybe he fancies himself against Bayinda. Dallow's done really well here. Driving down the right-hand side. We've got Garnacho looking for Xerxes maybe at the back post. No. Tries to find Bruno on the edge of the box, but it's not quite good enough. And, of course, Bruno moans at him. Xerxes had got in some decent space at the back post, though. I think maybe he could have crossed it earlier to try and find him there. Yeah, because he would have been up against Trippier. It just wasn't... Like, if you're going to pull it back to Bruno, it's got to be a better pass. As Big Ange would say, you're not entertained. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, do they keep him if they win the Europa League, even if they finish 17th? Like, Spurs fans have been wanting a trophy for God knows how many years. Same with Newcastle. The difference is... Newcastle have ended up winning a trophy whilst also competing at the top end of the Prem. They've been in the Champions League. They're most likely going to be in the Champions League again next season. And they've now won the League Cup. Whereas Spurs, even if they win this Europa League, yes, they'll be back in the Champions League, but they would have been so bad in the league that... Yes, you've finally got that trophy to celebrate, which is obviously massive. But it's come at the cost of you basically... Like, if you said at the start of the season, I will sacrifice the Premier League in order to win this club a trophy, then, okay. And I know he did have that, was it a press conference, where he said he always wins something in his second year. He still could. I don't think they will, but they could. What was their result in the first leg? It was, I thought I saw it, like, was 1-1, but I don't know how it finished. Can I go back far enough on Flash Score? I can. Bruno G. Harvey Barnes. Oh, it's a nice overlap. Livramento. Isak. Big save. Big save by the keeper. Lovely piece of play by Newcastle. Livramento with a nice run in behind. He's found well by Barnes. And then crosses it. And it's tipped out towards Isak. On the volley, similar to his assist against Tonali. But Bayinda makes himself big. Good save. Europa League. So Spurs was 1-1. Goodness me. 1-1 after the first leg. So there's still a world where they could go through against Frankfurt. At what point does Amorim have to admit his tactics with this team don't work? But I think he has admitted that. There's not much that he can do. Like, the thing is, if you bring Amorim into the club, you know how he wants his team to play. So you've got two options as Newcastle whipping a corner here. Joelinton tries to win it at the back post. Harvey Barnes gets past Garnacho, could have a shot. Whips it to the back post. What a ball! Dan Burn just over the bar. That would have been nice. It could have been just offside. Would have been close. Yeah, so you had two choices when you're bringing Amorim. One, you either bring him in knowing that he's going to be playing this system, even though you don't have the players for it, and you sort of just have to let him try it and see what players are in this squad that fit this system that should be kept for next year. Turns out not that many. There's a lot that don't fit here that could easily be sold. Your other option is you know you don't have the players for his system, so you get him to change his tactics to try and suit the players. But if his tactics are his whole management career, basically, then you'd rather not make him change everything completely, and you'd rather maybe sacrifice this season so that in the summer you can have this massive overhaul of the squad and really shape it to what he wants. Because you've spent big money on some of these players. You've got to see whether they fit the system before you potentially bin them off. So that feels like what they've done. Dallow's got Garnacho to his right. He's found him. He's going to have a shot. Garnacho! With a goal. I'm not sure whether he toe-poked this in. Either way, lovely break. Most of Man United's good moments in this game have come from breaking down this side, down Livramento's side. Dalot, when he's got past the winger, has looked really good going forward. And here, he does really... Ugarte does really well against Joelinton. Then plays Dalot, who charges past the halfway line. Drives into mid... That's fine, he's onside. Drives it forward. Plays it to Garnacho, who's out to his right. And it's not a toe poke. It's actually a lovely just pass into the bottom corner with his left foot, Garnacho. It's a fantastic finish. I take back anything from my first impression of what that goal might have been. That is really, really impressive composure. And lovely shot placement from Garnacho there. It's really good. In Anish defence, lost the entire back line for massive parts of the season. I agree to an extent. However, he's basically got a fully fit squad back now, and they're still awful. The defence is all back. The midfield's back. Solanke's back. And yet they're still getting battered in games. So earlier in the season, I had this conversation with my dad earlier. I agree. But at this stage, I don't think he can use that excuse. Because basically everybody is back. Biggest Leicester player loss in recent history, but not in best player, but a player that affected the team. Newcastle corner. Joelinton, no. I think Kasper Schmeichel is the answer to that. Joelinton, what on earth is that? A Trivela cross attempt? Awful. I would say Schmeichel, because the downgrade from him to Danny Ward and the lack of confidence that our defence had in our goalkeeper is one of the reasons why we got relegated. I think that Ward got over-hated massively, and he was a scapegoat at times for multiple things that were simply not his fault. Or weren't even really out of the ordinary for any goalkeeper to like concede that particular goal. But he would get the blame because it's Danny Ward. Whereas if Casper had conceded the same goal, it would have been fine. It'd be like, oh, unlucky. Another corner by Newcastle. Isak on the volley. Gets another chance to get it back into the box. Whips it to the back post. Oh, nearly fell to a Newcastle shirt, but Lenny Yoro with a good clearance. To be fair to him. Man United throw. So I think it has to be Casper for that reason alone. I personally don't think that Danny Ward is the reason we got relegated, but he is one of the factors behind it. Definitely. He's not the sole blame, but he is a percentage of the blame. Whereas we lost people like, I don't know, Cambiasso, who was unbelievable, and we never really saw that level of quality in the midfield again. We lost Kante, but then we brought in Undidi, who was phenomenal. We lost Riyad, and to be fair, no one was ever going to be able to replace Riyad. Because he was just ridiculous. He was way too good for us. I still think he was underutilised by Man City. I think that, like, maybe even nowadays, he's sort of getting a bit more in terms of credit for how good he was at City. But at the time, maybe not. He was put on the bench too much. He should have played more. Unpopular opinion, but you rate Bruno. That's not unpopular at all. I think 99% of football fans' opinions on Bruno Fernandes are that he's an amazing player, but dear God, he's such a whiny little rat baby. Garnacho been playing and low-driven shot. Yep. That's exactly what it was. Exactly that. Kante is the answer, is less than no longer play with 12 players. Yeah. But again, Wilf came in and became one of the best DMs in the league, so it was fine. Danny Ward downfall needs to be studied. I think, again, the problem with Danny Ward was he came in for Casper. It's like when the manager comes in to replace the legend. You're never really going to be that guy, right? And if you make mistakes, Lenny Yoro's just shoved Shah to the floor. Give a penalty. Go on. He's just shoved him. Are you booking him? So you're booking him, but it's not a penalty. Why? How does that work? Interesting. But yeah, so it was the problem of like the Moyes coming in after Ferguson. As the corner comes in, header at the back post, it's miles over. Yeah, Moyes after Ferguson. Any mistake that you make is going to be so hyper-exaggerated because you're not Sir Alex. The same thing happened with Ward because he was not Kasper Schmeichel. That was the problem. If he had been sort of like integrated over time to gradually replace him, it would have been fine. Because he was amazing in the Cups for us. He saved us in multiple penalty shootouts throughout the years. But then he had too much responsibility and didn't have the confidence or whatever. What happened? What do you mean? Riyad was so good to watch in the winning league season. Riyad's been great to watch wherever he is. Even in Saudi, some of the touches and finishes he's scoring. Oh, I will forever miss Riyad. Forever. I don't think I will ever see anyone that good play for my club again. Oh, it's beautiful play by Amas. Xerxes to Garnacho. Tries to pull it back to Xerxes. Falls to Garnacho again. Good shot. Good save by Nick Pope. Ugarte. Someone needs to have a shot or cross it in. What are you doing here? Dribbles past a couple of players, but nothing happening. Why are you watching this game in particular? I'm not sure what you mean. It's a Super Sunday game. I watch them all the time. Not looking good for Leicester. I mean, that might be the understatement of the century. We need Wolves to lose every single game, and we need to win every single game, and even then, we only finish 1 point above them. So, yeah. Or West Ham. Same with them. Scott is secretly a Magpies fan. No. I am not one of them. Tuned in, how do you say penalty? Yeah, Lenny Yoro just shoved Shah to the floor and got booked for it. But it isn't a penalty. I don't really understand the rules there. Because it was from a corner. And the ball wasn't in play, but does that matter? I don't know. I meant, why are you doing a watch-along on this one? Because I've wanted to bring the watch-alongs back. And I couldn't... I was initially going to bring them back with one on Tuesday for the Champions League. But then I got an edit sprung on me that I had to immediately do. And so I didn't get... I wasn't able to do the watch-along there. And so I thought, you know what? This weekend, let's do it. And let's do it on the main channel. Because even though it's not FIFA, and even though I have a football channel, they get more views on the football channel, on the main channel. And so I would much rather do a watch-along where we actually have people talking than potentially doing one on the footy channel to one person who doesn't speak. So, half-time. So this is where we try and score 4 goals with an Italian in this cup. In the next, 15 minutes. And we've just scored 1. So 3 to go to get that Ginola loan. Wednesday watch-along. Maybe. I'm not sure if I'm doing anything this week. I don't know if I'm going driving range or anything like that, because that's what we did for the PSG game the other day. We went driving range and then pub afterwards to watch that. Zaniolo! Okay, we need 2 more. Isn't the football channel faceless content? No. No, it's not. I haven't uploaded... I've uploaded, I think, 1 faceless video on the football channel. And that was the... Actually, no. No, that's not true. 3. The Rise and Fall of Leicester, Rise and Fall of Neymar, and the Euros video. But we've done watch-alongs on that channel before. For the Euros. And do videos all the time. So, no. Different channel, yeah. Yeah. Used to be in almost all the watch-alongs. They were good. I really enjoy doing them. I thoroughly enjoy them. Oh, let me quickly check this, actually. Oh, excusez-moi. Lovely. That's cool. I mean, you know what? Whilst it's half-time, why not? We got to get 2 goals. With Zaniolo in this horrible delayed mess of a friendly mode. which has been thoroughly unenjoyable in the couple of games that I have played. I just hate this game, really. It's sad to say, but that is just the case. Like, come on, man. That's not where that's supposed to go. It just doesn't make me happy. I've still got all of my champs to do. As per usual, I'll probably end up playing them on Monday evening, because it's just a bit easier and slightly less frustrating on a Monday evening. Just fly through the games, get them done, chill, and not really care about it. But it's just horrible to play. Sadly. I wish it wasn't the case. But, like, every player... Like, I mean, he's missed the target from a few yards away. Every player feels like a bronze on FC25. Is that going to change during Team of the Season? I highly doubt it. Because the problem isn't the players. The problem is not even the gameplay. The gameplay is actually fine. It's just the connection. And it's just so sad that the entire game can be ruined by one aspect of it being below average. Like, that's the one thing you've got to have right in your game. Because otherwise, I mean, that's it, innit? That is just it. I don't know how much this Blanc is. I don't know if it's worth trying to get 5 goals with a Prem player as well. I could do, but 2 more goals, and then we've got that done. Oh, but yeah, you don't know if you want to play champs this weekend. I personally, unless you do not get any button delay, I personally don't understand why anybody plays this game when they don't get paid to do it. The delay ruins it that much, in my opinion. This is up there, sadly, with the worst games that have ever been made by EA in this franchise. For me, because I think the worst part is as well, if you had some kind of like bad netcode 10 years ago, when online gaming wasn't what it is now, you could maybe be excused a little bit. But it's 2025. You're one of the biggest developers and whatever in the world. There is simply zero excuse to have something so game-breaking. That's why you didn't play 22 and 23, stopped at the start. Yeah. If my job did not rely on me playing this game, I would not have it installed. Like, I genuinely think it's getting worse as well. Like, it feels like instead of the servers and everything like that feeling better as time goes on, like, this is awful. This cup, I'm glad that I haven't really been playing it properly throughout the week or whatever, because this is grim. This at times feels like it is close to a full second of delay. Which, I know that champs is bad, but it's not this bad. This is actually worse. Which I didn't think was possible on this game. I really did not. But it's such a shame because the core gameplay, that massive patch that they did in, what, like January, February, something like that, was so good. So good. Not gonna lie, I thought you would quit FIFA by now. You said during FIFA 22 I'd go to part-time instead of full-time. I have not at any point said that I was stopping doing this full-time. So I'm not sure what that is in reference to. FIFA 22 was up there with the worst times I've had in terms of everything that was going on. That was when I got like scammed by the coin sponsor and everything like that. And it made life in general pretty tough for a while. Because suddenly the income that I thought I was guaranteed for the next like 6 months disappeared overnight. So when you have budgeted based on that, life kind of falls apart. So that wasn't fun. I think you said at one point if the next game was bad, you'd stop. I think I have said that for quite a while. But the sad part is, EA normally have an excuse that I have validated from year to year. Like, oh, it's a new console generation. It's a new engine. Oh, the world shut down for COVID. Right? There's a reason. There's an excuse. Even FC24. Oh, it's their first year split from FIFA. Ironically, FC24 is the best game that we've had since FIFA 20. This one, there are no excuses. And this is up there with the worst of all time for me. So it's tough because I absolutely love what I do. And the thought of like not streaming or creating content and stuff like that feels so alien to me. But this game series is in such a state that there's a reason why there is a push to try and get the football channel going and football TikTok and all of that stuff. Because I don't know how long I can continue trying to make content on something that I just don't enjoy. Particularly streaming. Streaming is a problem with this game because a lot of it relies on the game, on the gameplay, on content that EA are releasing and everything like that. Whereas with videos, especially like collab videos and stuff like that, it's about you and another person having this fun squad building series together and everything like that. They're really enjoyable. The videos that I do around individual players, I really enjoy because it's not about the gameplay. And so that's why there's been a bit of a shift away for it. Like, I can't sit here and stream this game for 6 hours a day. I just can't. I would lose my mind because I just can't stand what it feels like to play. So you can't force yourself through that day after day, especially when you have done that for years. You will just break yourself down. And so trying to do less gameplay reliant things has been really the focus throughout this year, as well as, again, pushing the football channel, because there's no world where I'm going to... Oh my God, Birmingham lost to Peterborough at Wembley. Wow. There's no world where I'm going to get bored of football or anything like that. So... 6 laps left of the F1. And the golf is underway. I don't know what times they're actually teeing off, though, based on what they're showing there. 2:10. Time in Augusta right now. Oh, okay. So, around 7 o'clock is when the big boys are starting to tee off. That's actually really, really good in terms of lining up with this and being able to, like, chill for the rest of the evening or whatever. That's great. Game when it first launched was such a fun gameplay, even when I told a friend who quit the game that this year was so fun more than past years. Yep. But again, as soon as like Champs came out and the delay got introduced, it was awful. Why don't you branch out to other games? Because no one watches me play other games. I would love to. I try it whenever I stream anything else. The chat is dead. There's no one there. It never really gains us any followers or subs or anything like that. And so it doesn't feel like there's any point in doing it. I would love to be able to. As I said earlier, I don't know if you were here, my dream scenario is that the football channel would become my primary source of everything. And then the gaming stuff would be a secondary, so I can do FC stuff. I can do whatever the hell I want. But it's not specifically this game relying on EA making something that is fantastic every year. That's the dream. Try to move into pro clubs, do videos on builds, face scans, on stream, play with 11. But again, viewership for clubs compared to Ultimate Team. And again, that's relying on playing the game. I don't like playing the game. Unless there is somehow no button delay in pro clubs, which I highly, highly doubt. Aiden, yeah, it's not going to be good. Must be nice knowing you weren't the only team to concede to Garnacho. Yeah. I mean, Garnacho's a good player. He's just, you know what? Garnacho reminds me so much of Vinny. When he broke through at Real Madrid, I was watching a lot of him because he was so exciting, but he was so poor with his final play. Whether it was his passing decision, his decision to shoot, his finishing ability, his decision-making in general was not good enough. So he had the raw talent, but it needed to be unlocked and refined, really, into a monster player. I feel like Garnacho is the same. He's the same age as Vinny was when he was breaking through. It feels like the same scenario, where you potentially have an absolute monster there, but you need to properly figure out how to get the most out of him. Because, yeah, Vinny was supposed to be this absolute wonder kid, but there were so many mistakes. You remember Benzema saying, I swear he's playing against us. Can't remember who he was talking to. Maybe Marcelo at the time, something like that. And yeah, sometimes it just... I don't know what changed with Vinny. I don't know whether it was managers or whatever. But his decision-making's improved. Technical ability, finishing. It just gets better. Oh, God, I've not got the... crap. 1 second. Sorry, I didn't put the... I didn't put the time on. We've kicked off, but I've not got a time on the board.
last season, finished 7th and 8th respectively on identical number of points. Last midweek of the season, Manchester United won 3-2.
Okay, let's do this. 3, 4, 5. There we go. Timer's back. Yeah, 7:30. Good, good, good. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, nice header. Joelinton. It's a poor pass to Isaac, though. Xerxes. Oh, on the turn, he's absolutely sat him down. Big attack for United. To Dallo, who is now left wing. Brought down by Tonali. Judged to be a shoulder-to-shoulder, though. They'll obviously VAR it. Maybe there's a world he gave him a nudge in the back and they get a penalty here, but Harry Amas shoots from range. It's terrible. It's terrible. Terrible. Let's have a look at this then on Dallo. I mean, he first pulls and then pushes him. It's not a shoulder-to-shoulder, and he doesn't get the ball. It'd probably be soft, but could have given it. Could have given it. 92 Bompasta. That's solid. Yeah, I need to earn that 90 times 5. But yeah, I really, really would love to get that Football Channel push. So yeah, Sancho is frustrating. He is frustrating because again, you know the talent level, but it's just not. It's not found. Oh, Livramento! What a! Oh, it was such a good dribble. 2-1, Newcastle. Harvey Barnes, Livramento goes down the left-hand side. A cricketer, beautiful, beautiful double touch. Plays across, fizzes it right across the 6-yard line. Doesn't find anyone until it gets to the back post, and then Jacob Murphy takes a touch, pulls it back to Harvey Barnes. And that is 2-1 to the team in black and white. Harvey Barnes! Jacob Murphy, FPL points. I did captain Isaac rather than Murphy, though, sadly. He may not have even done a cricketer. He may have just shimmied to the left and faked to cut inside. Yeah, he doesn't even touch it. It's just body movement to get past the player. That is beautiful by Livramento on Dallo. And then it's a really, really good cross as well. Fantastic pullback by Murphy as well. Nice goal. Very nice goal. Livramento has been fantastic. Scored 8 outside the box in 5 champs games. I don't get it. I can't believe you play the game so much if you're just Trivella in every game. I'm excited to see what Potter does when he hopefully uses Somerville next season. Yeah, I can't believe how underutilised he had been this season. Why don't you advertise Discord more? A lot of people use Discord. Yeah, I actually finally went back into the Discord the other day and put in like a few messages and stuff. And it may get a bit of a revamp, but again, more around football than this game. Because basically everyone that plays it still hates it. I don't know when that's going to change. That, like, blacked out version of the Newcastle badge is awful. I don't get it. Especially considering pretty much the whole badge is black and white anyway. So dumb. He did this since early Jan. Garnucci gets past Livramento, pulls it back to Tonali. So yeah, if it was going to get revamped, it would be more football focused than FC.
years ago,
Absolutely.
there were defeats for Newcastle around the League Cup final. They lost. This time they lost
Trippier
games against
to
Bournemouth
Murphy.
between the two legs of the semi-final.
That patch on their arm still does my head in. It just looks like everyone's a captain. I hate it.
Seemingly failed to impact.
Ruins the shirt. You should have just kept it the same colourway. Nice ball out wide to Harvey Barnes. Tries to cut past Mazraoui. Runs into him instead. Joel Linton recovers though. Tonali, edge of the box. To Bruno G. Into Murphy. Tackled by Eriksson though. That's poor. Xerxes on the charge. He's not really got much up with him. Tries to cut through the middle. He's done really well. But where is everyone? And he's pulled his hamstring. Oh, man. When your luck is out. But the lack... like, surely, part of the point of this formation from United, right? You've got your central striker. You've got your two attacking players either side in Garnacho and, like, Bruno. But then your wing-backs, when you have an attack, should be bombing forward. Dalot, Mazraoui, Amas, whoever is in that position at that time, should be bombing forward. And there, if he had an option, if Dalot had actually been sprinting down the right wing, then he would have been able to play him. It's frustrating to watch because you know what the players should be doing, but they don't do it often enough in this system and formation and everything like that. Gonna get... So Xerxes off for Haaland. And it looks like Dorgu and Mason Mount are coming on as well. Who for? Who knows? At this point, I'm not sure it'll make that much of a difference. But yeah, Haaland definitely coming on for Xerxes.
Mason Mount's going to get some game time too, as indeed is Patrick Dorgu.
Dorgu for...
Maguire was going to come off. Come on, he took off his snood.
Garnacho for Mount. Rerun some discords before using templates. Yeah, a couple of people have offered that as well.
So Dorgu for a mass.
I appreciate it. I just don't know if the channel has enough traction to really fill it up, populate it. Look at like the number of people in streams and stuff when we're playing the game. Just pace and pound though, and then Harry Amas off, Dorgu on. I guess just wanting more attacking intent. Oh. I mean, you still got... You've probably got about 40 minutes left here, because there's going to be like 5-ish added on, you'd imagine. So there is plenty of time for United to come back into this. But as it stands, I said 3-1. It's looking likely. Newcastle are definitely the side that... If you were saying that this game would have one more goal in it, you would say that it would come for Newcastle. And this is huge for them in terms of their top 4 push. Because Chelsea only drew against Ipswich. So this actually puts Newcastle... This puts Newcastle 4th, and they have a game in hand. If they win their game in hand, they go 3rd, ahead of Forest. There's a world where Forest drop out. I didn't realise that they were only on 57. They're only 2 points ahead of Man City in 5th, 3 points ahead of Chelsea and Villa in 6th and 7th. That would be really, really poor from them to drop out at this stage. That result against Everton was awful. Wow. I mean, the end of the season, you've got no title race, you've got no relegation race, but this battle for Europe is going to be really, really interesting for not just the Champions League, but who gets into the other spots for the other competitions as well. You've still got the chance of like Fulham, Brighton, Bournemouth. It's going to be really good. Murphy lobs it over the top to Tonali. It's well defended though by a combination of Dorgu and someone else. Don't think Chelsea get top 5. Haven't been good enough turn of the year. I agree. I agree. Murphy up against Dorgu. He's defended it again well. I think... I mean, Liverpool win the league. Arsenal come second, you would imagine. Unless they go all the way in the Champions League, in which case you'd think they'd sacrifice the Prem because they're not going to win it. So maybe they could drop to like 3rd or 4th. They're not going to drop out of the top 5, so it doesn't matter. You got Forest in there. Newcastle could easily finish 3rd. Man City... And then, yeah, Villa, Chelsea. It also depends on whether Villa go through against PSG. If Villa do not go through and they get knocked out, then they could push on in the final few games in the Prem. It's going to be a really good end to the season. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, Isak, it's poor. Past 2 years, Arsenal annoyed you by getting a lead, ended up finishing 2nd. It'd be pretty funny if Arsenal finished 3rd after singing about Tottenham finishing 3rd in a 2-horse race for years, even though they were the only team that were actually properly competing with us in the Prem that season. That'd be pretty funny. I kind of hope it happens. Just it'll be good. How's the game been? Been watching the F1. Not bad. Newcastle comfortably the better team. However, United have had a couple of good moves. There was one in the first half with some lovely first touch passing between Xerxes and Bruno that resulted in a shot on target that was great. Dalot's had some success down their right-hand side, and that's what led to the goal. He drove forward and then played it to Garnacho. Lovely finish. But in general, Newcastle... The lazy way to explain it is it feels like Newcastle want it more. Like 50-50 challenges and stuff like that. It feels like Newcastle are the ones getting properly stuck in every time. And just a bit more resilient. And just overall, better quality. Don't celebrate a Man United game and I'll donate 300. I mean, I don't even really know what that means. If you mean goal, then sure. There's no reason for me to celebrate a Man United goal. So, I can guarantee you that. You meant goal? Yeah. Sure. I'm not a Man United fan, so I'm not sure why I would celebrate it. Murphy cross into the middle. Dan Burn. Header over the bar. Chelsea next fixtures are Fulham, Everton, Liverpool, Newcastle, United, then Forest. So do think we'll finish top 5. That's really interesting that is your reaction to that. Because I would say that's actually really bad for you. Tonali crosses it in. The keeper comes out and punches well, though. You mean a Newcastle goal? Sure. I'm not a Newcastle fan either, so I can guarantee you that I won't celebrate any goals that are scored in this game.
Presence in either penalty area. There's the chap in the cap. Who gave him his cap?
Triple captain Diaz hopefully scores. No, he assisted the first one. Yeah, he did. I've captained Diaz. Bruno's got space. He's got Haaland in the middle. Mount's got space, sorry. Not Bruno. People calling the league boring, but this race for the UCL spots are crazy. Yep, I agree. But people only really care about a title race and maybe a relegation race. Whereas the race for Europe is the most exciting part. But yeah, Beza, I would say that those are bad fixtures for you, and therefore your odds of finishing top 5, you're not getting results against the teams that are worse than all of the ones that you've just listed. Let alone getting that. Oh, you meant you don't think. Right, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, I don't think you will either. After looking at those. You've just been awful. It's 2025. Ever since Maresca said that you're not in a title race and basically just shut down any optimism of your fan base and players, you've been terrible. Barnes driving through the middle. It's 3-1 Newcastle. My score prediction. I'm not sure who it was. A Man United player was dribbling sort of backwards and sideways with the ball here. Mazraoui they've just focused on. So you see it here. Mazraoui dribbling slightly backwards. Slips. Barnes takes it off of him. Drives through the middle between the two centre-backs and bangs it in. Mazraoui has pretty much just ended United's chances of getting anything out of this game with that slip. Champions League looking really good for Newcastle then. So yeah, just inside his own half, Mazraoui tries to drive past Barnes and slips. And he literally just runs through the middle of them. Really, really easy for him. If Eriksen was a bit more athletic, maybe he would have been able to stop him getting to the centre-backs. But drives through, past Eriksen, past Lindelof. In between him and Yoro. And puts it top bins. Great finish. Past the keeper. So no FPL assist for anyone for that goal because he just took it off of Mazraoui. But if you've got Barnes, brace for you. And that should probably be game over, barring something crazy in this game. I would be surprised. As Ogate's on the floor holding his face. Good. First Chelsea, United, someone else top 4 was all 4 teams losing every single week. Yeah, exactly. The least awful team. That was like when we got relegated 2 years ago. The least awful team, Everton, were the ones that stayed up. They didn't stay up because they were good. I mean, it required a Decore absolute banger against Bournemouth on the final game of the season to stay up. But we were shocking. Southampton were awful. Leeds were dreadful. Bamford was having just a shambles of a season. Everton were awful as well. I think Forest maybe that season as well. And yeah, Everton were just not quite as awful as us. And stayed up. Have Ipswich, Palace, and Bournemouth, Liverpool, Newcastle, Southampton. Oh yeah, it was an absolute banger. Decore's goal. It's such a shame. Such a shame.
Immensely smart, David Ginola.
Just off a film set, isn't he? Look at that. Magnificent. Magnifique.
He was no luxury.
Need
He's
a
always a
whole
necessity and will be
three.
for eternity. David Ginola.
David Ginola. We just got him on loan.
But even in their time, a generation ago, Newcastle didn't win a prize. This can be
Okay.
this season since '69.
Shame.
Even better than that if they finish up second or third, podium finish, as well as a trophy.
Du-du-du-du-dum.
Part of it, representing as he does today, he
Yeah, we need to score a goal like that Decore one. Just someone leather it from 30 yards. Go on. Do you think Leeds will go back down? I don't think anyone that comes up will stay up.
and watching this, and of course, indeed if he's not.
The problem that you have, right, is when for 2 seasons in a row you have the 3 teams that have come up going straight back down, it means that everybody else can build and progress more and more. So that gap just gets bigger. Whereas if you are losing a random team as well as like 1 or 2 promoted teams, then it evens out a bit more, and the promoted team that stays up gets a chance to build and everything like that. But
Again, once bitten, twice shy.
that hasn't been the case. So
Strong turn from Hoyland. Shell wouldn't let him go.
I would be surprised. You think Burnley with their defence would have the best chance? But their defence won't be good enough. The Championship is just... The Championship is better than the Premier League in terms of like competitiveness and entertainment. But the level gap is just huge. So you can have amazing defence in the Championship, or you can have an amazing goal scorer in the Championship, but it doesn't translate to the Prem. It just doesn't. Tonali. Oh, he should leather it. Go on. I got a switch, yeah. I don't think that it was a different experience to the Switch, to the PS and Xbox pre-orders, because if you were alert and you had like email alerts and everything like that, or maybe Discord or those, when these things went live, you could get them. And it's been the same for the Switch. They've sold out within like half an hour or an hour on most websites most times. But if you're there and ready at the time that they go live, you can get one. I think most people just struggled with like Series X and PS5 because they weren't on it. If you were, you'd get one. Oh, Barnes has absolutely done Mazraoui with that touch. Drives into the box. Tries to play it to Isak, but it's blocked. Mazraoui's done well there, to be fair. Loads of Saints fans after the playoffs last season wanted to stay in the Championship. Such a great league to play in. Yeah. Burnley will end up buying Saints and Fox's players. Burnley are not going to buy any of our players. Because if they want to keep this defensive solidity, they don't want any of our players. And the ones that are going to be sold, like a Hermansen or an El Canous, are going to be more expensive and go to bigger teams. I think Chelsea come in and buy Hermansen. My new career really has fallen off a cliff in last year. I mean, he's basically been injured for most of the season. Trippier to the back post. Dan Burn. Bayinda sort of beaten to the header. But yeah, Mainu's had a lot of injury problems. Which is why when he wasn't in the England squad, there wasn't outrage and stuff like that, because He's, oh my God, he's just not had the play time this season. I mean, he played up front in one game. That was bizarre.
It's Fabian Schär. Fernandes can look to escape. Tonali won't make it easy.
Bruno getting hounded by Tonali, and now he's going to moan at everybody else. Instead of just actually, like, getting rid of the ball, of course, time to moan at everyone else.
As much as anything else, and they can just overpower you. That's what's happening to Manchester United at the moment. Got to find a way through that. They've certainly got to battle harder.
United within 20 odd minutes here of achieving their first league double over Manchester United.
Do-ba-do-do-do.
1930-31 season.
How long we got? 20 minutes. Maybe 25.
22nd and last.
Because you've had subs, you've had the Xerxes injury, a couple of goals.
Two great games that year, by the way. Newcastle won 7-4 in Manchester and 4-3 at home.
It does feel like there'll be another goal in this game. It'd be really, really interesting if it went United's way. And then Newcastle have sort of got to stay calm for the remainder of the game. But the press from Newcastle, whenever United get it, is... they're just hounding them. Don't know how they bridge the gap between leagues. No. No one seems to have an answer for the problem. Because if there was an answer, then you would have assumed that it would have already happened in some way.
11:30 in the morning with Manchester United in East London. West Ham against Manchester United. 11:30. Sky Sports Football next Saturday.
The worst part is when you're trying to talk about like this gap between the Championship and the Premier League, and people come up and say, "Oh yeah, but like Forest stayed up." Well, yeah, because again, the money in football changes every single year, and every year that we progress, the gap is getting bigger between the Championship and the Premier League. And so if you managed to stay up a few years ago, then you really benefited. Because especially now with PSR rules and stuff like that, it's harder to be able to compete, because you have the teams that are staying in the league being able to spend the same, if not more than you, when you get promoted. So how are you then going to finish above them unless they underperform? That is basically the way that you stay up in the Premier League now, is that at least one team underperforms. Like when we got relegated and stuff like that. Underperformance in that season meant that someone could stay up. But even if a team underperforms, because the gap in quality is getting bigger and bigger, it's so hard to take advantage of it. And so you had a couple of teams that, yes, a few years ago did stay up. I mean, Forest stayed up, but they broke the PSR rules to do it. Is it worth it? Maybe. Maybe. Murphy to Isak, but he can't control it. Trippier back in. Keeper's ball. Not sure why you dislike... Oh, you're asking... Are you saying you're not sure why I dislike United so much? I don't dislike United. I don't... Oh my God! It's 4. Bayinder's tried to sort of lob the ball into midfield, got it completely wrong. It's gone straight to Joelinton. He nods it down to Bruno G and he just puts it in. Oh, dear. Well, you've come in for Onana, who has got slated by people, and you do that. Karma. But no, I don't like or dislike any football teams outside of Leicester and Barca because I think it is a waste of your time and energy to do so. So I don't know what you're basing that off of. I don't dislike United. 4-1. Phaser teams came up and stayed up. Feel that was more because of established teams being mismanaged. Yep, and again, it was different. PSR-wise. Bayenda, though, awful. Absolutely dreadful. You agree with Simon Jordan, teams coming up should have some leeway with the PSR rules for teams 2 seasons? I think that's one of the only ways that you could potentially fix it.
Plenty of change. Trippier gives way to Kraft at right full back. Callum Wilson replaces Alexander Isak. Newcastle got 4 and he didn't get any of them.
But wow. Shocking. And again, no FPL points for Isak for that goal. Come on. What's going on? Yeah, Forest did stay up by breaking the rules. It's true. There's a new Evo that costs 80,000 coins. Of course it's a paid one. But Onana's the problem. Of course. See, this is basically my exact point from earlier. If Onana does what Bayinda did right there, he would get absolutely slated. Slated. Maybe like, he's the worst keeper in the league. But yeah, truly, I don't know if you're still here or not, but if you are, what you on about? What do you mean? And then we got this following on with the golf. Oh, what an evening we got in store. Bruno, gee, can they make it 5? They've still got somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes here to do it. Tonali to Barnes. The overlap ignored. That's disappointing. Fabian Schär to Tonali. Kraft. Going to be really, really sad for Newcastle fans if they do end up losing like either Isak or Bruno. I know it will obviously be huge for the club financially, but like Bruno's turned into this iconic club captain. Isak is obviously phenomenal. This is Cobby. Jay, I don't want to hear a word more from you. Simple as that. You can't just come in and say that you're at Augusta and not expect everyone to hate you for it. Bruno subbed for Cobby. I just get jealous every single time you join the stream. I wish I had your life. Switching to FTC after? No! I'm not playing that game. Hell no. I'm watching the golf. I am watching the golf for the rest of the evening. After this match. Not as like a watch-along stream. Thought you'd say hello. Queue's 30 minutes long. You know what? Deserved. I'm obviously outrageously jealous. It's ridiculous. Maybe one day. I don't even know how expensive it is, but I imagine it's a hell of a lot because it's Augusta. Can one of you just sort of like get married to a Saudi prince or princess? Help me. Can see the gap this season. Wolves had a poor season, still good enough to stay up. Yep. Cameron, exactly. Even like Cunha alone has won so many points for them this season. Dorgu tries to whip in a cross, but it's not finding anyone. I'm assuming you meant, by the way, Jay, dying for a burger. I'm assuming that's what that meant. I think he'll do it, though. Rory. I think, like, when you've got the Grand Slam on the line. Stream vividly playing Fall Guys. Hell yeah. 1K flat for all 4 days. Got a big discount you make work for PGA. Of course he does! Get your mate to give me a free golf simulator. Thanks. Even though you didn't get one for free. But that's not the point. That's not the point. Maybe there's some pros that have old clubs that they're getting rid of. I mean, 1K for all 4 days. It depends how much it would cost for a normal person to do it. That's not actually that crazy. But yeah, it depends. If it was normally like 5K, then it's a bit different, isn't it? Try and get Roy's driver. Hell yeah. Golf room simulator in the new apartment. It ain't going to be an apartment. It's going to be a house. We're going to a couple of viewings next week, is the plan. Well, I say it is the plan. One of them is scheduled. We had a call with a mortgage advisor yesterday, which was positive. So, that's good.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I think that's the message.
Joe Linton. Gone. Put with him a few times. 6.5K. Got VIP tickets. Not sure how much normal are. Of course. Of course you did. Not even just normal ones. VIP. Maybe one day. Maybe. Not bad by Yoro. I mean, it doesn't matter at this point, does it? 4-1 though. Does not matter. Haaland, man. Haaland's first touch at times is reminiscent of Lukaku at United. Like, it's tough because he's a younger player. I know they spent a lot of money on him, and so the pressure is going to be higher than it should be for someone of his age and experience coming into this club. He should be the second striker. A player of his profile and talent level should have probably cost half what it did and should be the backup to an elite level player. but instead he's being forced to be the main man. And that can crush someone earlier on in their career. The pressure and everything can just be so overwhelming. Especially in this system where most of the players don't play well in it or don't fit the system. So you've then got your isolated like striker who's just struggling the whole time, and it makes them look even worse. Not good. Just got told normal tickets around 200 quid per round. Not bad at all. However, accommodation around the course extortionate. Oh yeah, I can imagine. But that's the same with anything. Like, if you wanted to get a hotel near Wembley, when either like if I wanted to stay in London after Coldplay or Oasis, hotels are going to be an absolute joke. So yeah, that's expected.
Top 5 will do, of course.
Yeah, they're going to take some stopping now, I think. I mean, the trip to Sellers Park will not be easy. Goes without saying.
Yeah, that's not mental.
A lot of momentum.
Then a really big one at Villa next week.
As an FYI, I saw someone on a podcast talking recently. Oh no, the stuff on the chair's fallen. Quick, can we recover it in time? Moving this stuff as soon as the stream finishes as well. I was like watching a golf podcast, and like if you want to play Augusta, obviously you can't just pay for a round there or whatever. You have to be either a member or with a member. Apparently the like black market price, as it were, to pay someone to do a round with them at Augusta is around 25k per person. For a 3-man, including the member.
Now, sadly, 2 goalkeepers who will be shy of full confidence.
So I guess what? Maybe you'd actually have to pay for them as well. So you and your mate, if you're going, would potentially have to pay 40k each.
Haaland, Naidu,
Crazy.
Haaland.
Win the lottery and you're into golf or something, then sure. Once in a lifetime. Ugata. Lovely ball in. Oh, Haaland, maybe a little bit unlucky. Decent cross in. Maybe it needs to be a tiny bit further in front of him.
Question of Newcastle.
Got back from our game. That Van Dijk goal went in. Can't describe feeling 180 minutes away from a league title. Maybe not even that. You could win the league title and relegate us next Sunday if Arsenal lose on Saturday. Or they may even be on Sunday, but the earlier game. So if they lose that one, then I believe that, yeah, you would relegate us and win the league by beating us. Double room for you and your mate is $5,000 for 5 nights, all inclusive. That is absolutely ridiculous. That's the kind of thing where I feel like even if I was rich, I don't know if I could justify paying it. And I'd just have to... I'd have to get somewhere further away and just travel further each day. I mean, let's be real, we're not losing against Ipswich. You say that, though. If you go through against Real Madrid, right, you don't care about the Prem. So you will rest players in the Prem. Ipswich can still stay up. It's very unlikely, but they can still stay up. Scored twice against Chelsea today. It could happen. It's unlikely, but definitely not impossible with context applied. Whereas if you go out against Real Madrid, then sure. But if you go through, you are going to be wrapping up those remaining great players that you have in cotton wool. I was actually amazed yesterday, after you went 1-0 up, that you still brought on, who was it? Saka, Rudiger, and I can't remember who the third one was. But I thought, like, you have those subs prepared, but now you're 1-0 up. And you actually looked worse when they came on. Maybe because they're just, again, not putting in the full commitment because they don't want to get injured at all. So was there any point in even bringing them on? Maybe not. So I imagine Ipswich would be exactly the same if you don't blow it against Madrid. Could happen. Had a chat with Tom Holland, as you do. Do you fancy just, like, giving away half of your money and assets, Jay? Just as a small piece of generosity. Feel sorry for Ipswich, play decent football, been unlucky at times. They have, but they're also just not good enough. Just not good enough. Dying embers. Ericsson whips it in, is somehow still on the pitch in the 94th minute in April 2025 for Manchester United. Partey leaving for free. You think he's their best midfielder. You think that Thomas Partey is better than Declan Rice. That's an interesting thing to say. Chasing away from Mount. Although, to be fair, I don't actually know who Partey is. I only know of, like, an unnamed man in his 30s. So, maybe he is. 30 seconds left. How far from Leicester you'd be willing to move? Do you want to stay? We are looking at anything basically South Leicester. Leicestershire. Anything where it is relatively simple to come here for, like, football, friends, family, and Northampton way for the guffs, friends, family, etc. And there we go. GG. So, yeah, that's our plan. That's what we're looking at right now. We've got a couple of viewings, as I said before, coming up in and around where we are. Because it's really good here. On top of friends and family. Isak got any involvements? Isak assisted the first goal, Tonali. And that was it. Good deal, understandable. Yeah, no, Nottingham's wrong way. Wrong way. Just Google it, see how it looks. To see how what looks. What do you mean? What do you mean? But yeah, no, not in Nottingham. It's too far the other way. I think the furthest that we would go that way, like one of my mates lives like halfway between Leicester and Nottingham. If there's access to the M1 and stuff like that, then it's not as bad, but you got to go down and left in order to get to that from Notts. Anything Leicester, unfortunately. Disappointing. Disappointing. South Leicestershire, the area. Yeah. There's a lot of nice little towns. A lot of which I've had friends and family and stuff like that live in and around over the years. So I've been through a lot of them. Like if you're looking down that way, you've got, I don't know, Oadby, Wigston, Blaby, Croft, Evington, Fleckney. There's loads. There's loads of nice little places dotted around that have their own communities and everything like that. But you're also not too far away to like come into the city centre for the football or something like that. There's also dotted around South Leicester way a few golf courses, so that's always good. So pretty much no matter where we're gonna go, I'll have access to like a range and a course going forward, so that's fun. Portugal. Golf all year round, nice weather. That's outrageous. I'll say, I guess you never know what will happen in life. I'd love to be able to see some of these things in the future. But right now, the focus is fitness for both me and my partner. It is fitness, getting healthy, doing exercise, etc. We're going to do a 5k run most likely later in the year together, and then a 10k by the end of the year, stuff like that. Just getting better looking, feeling better. Hell yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good. Jay's rich, not even a member. I know. It's disgraceful. It's fine because he's saving it up for like a £1 million dono coming through in a couple of years. So it's fine. I don't mind it. It's okay. But then, yes, so the fitness stuff, but then house as well. So once we get back from Florida, the aim is basically pretty much every penny is going towards a house. I say we're doing viewings, we've had mortgage call, etc. And so we are beginning the process, as it were. And it's really exciting. It's so expensive, of course, but exciting at the same time. I best take you to the Ryder Cup or the Masters. Any major. That'd be incredible. Most of you'd be willing to spend. I have no idea. But wait, in terms of what? In terms of going to like a Masters thing, it's not something that's even on my radar at this point in time. These kind of things. Like this year has been a year where haven't minded spending a bit more money on like some gigs. We've got the holiday coming up. But then as soon as those are over, no. Going to be a bit of a hermit after that point. Just saving and saving and saving. So we'll see. Save mode, exactly. But I think houses will probably be in like the 300 realm. But potentially shared ownership as well. That's got so much better over the years. When it first got introduced, like, you were so limited in the staircasing and all of that stuff, and the rent rates and stuff like that for the remainder. Nowadays, it's actually not that bad. Not that bad. J Moon says, ah ha 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 ha. Don't really know exactly what that's in response to, but hey, how's it going? Did you manage to get a Switch too? Yep. Not hard, really. Not hard. I originally got one at Smith's, and then Argos came out with theirs. And so I changed from Smith's to Argos, because I haven't ever done anything through Smith's before, so I thought I'd go with someone that I know is a bit more reputable and reliable from my own experience. But then I had the opportunity to get one through HMV and everything like that. You just got to be on it with, again, making sure you're alert to the emails coming through saying, we have stock! Same with Amazon, Shop 2 as well. So yeah, I managed to get one. And fortunately, the release date is early enough that I'll be able to take it on holiday. Flight to America without, like, because originally the first leaked release date was the 26th or 27th of June, and it would have come out like the day after we left for holiday. So that would have been sad. But now we get both the holiday and be able to take the Switch 2 there. And the flight and everything like that will be so much better. So much better. Living in NA, tough out here. Yeah. Well, sadly, those are the consequences for the man that's been elected. You're going to go through some tough stuff. Which is probably great if you're like a billionaire. You've probably made a ton of money by being told in advance that these things are happening, shorting all of your stocks and then buying back up when the things are going to get paused and all of that. It's great. Fantastic. But for the average person, nah, you're just going to have to spend a load more on stuff. Although I did see a news update come through that the tariffs weren't going to affect like laptops and phones. So I don't know if that's also going to be the case with gaming stuff, and then it might not be that bad. But I'd definitely say make sure you have got any and all alerts on for any websites where you can potentially get one for when they do go live. And you should be fine. To 5 feet consistently, skill these guys have in person, just silly. Yeah, I went... What did I go to? I went to something that was in Blackpool when I was a lot younger. I can't remember what it was. But just the technique and a bad shot for them is like getting it on the green on a par 3, but it's not within 10 feet. Where it's like, I'd love to be within 20 feet of the green. That'd be fantastic. Or just not shank it into the water. That'd be great. Although I did see the fraud Tiger in the flesh, and we had to move backwards because his tee shot came into the crowd, so... Is he really that good? Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, well, we have got the golf coming up for the remainder of the day, which is hopefully going to be a really, really good end. Because yesterday, the start and end of round 3 was so good that I'm hoping that today is going to be similar. I hope so. It'd suck. As good as it would be for Rory to just go on and smash it, I hope that it's not a boring end. I hope that it's competitive and close. Because it's just so much more entertaining when it actually comes down to like the last couple of holes rather than it being over with 8 to play. Ask for a wedge. Don't want to slap. I mean, just ask him afterwards. Go for it. Rory Bottles this. Catch you soon. In a bit. Enjoy. I think he'll be fine. I think Bryson is more likely to bottle than Rory. Has a few more outward emotions that maybe could take over a bit. But yeah, enjoy. I'm not jealous at all. I would rather watch it on TV than be there, honestly. Like, why even go? Terrible. You don't even get replays. So, right, enjoy it. Thank you very much, anyone that was here for the watch along today. I'm going to go chill and watch the golf. And then we've got a Rooney video coming for you tomorrow. So hopefully you enjoy that one. Haircut for a forfeit. I mean, there's probably going to be a few people that look similar, but hey, sure. Sure. Have a good one. And yeah, hopefully it's going to be a really entertaining night of golf. In a bit, everybody. Thank you for being a part of it. I'll see you tomorrow for the Rooney vid. Bye-bye!